Hi guys, Katie here. Thank you so much for stopping in. Today we are just going to run into one thrift store. I spent an entire $6 and so I'm going to show you guys what I found. It was just a quick one, but I think that you will see some things that you like. And speaking of things that you like, if you like this channel, make sure that you give it a like and a subscribe so that you don't miss any videos in the future. All right, let's get started. Oh, linens. They did have some pretty ones today, and they were priced really reasonable. There was a set of 3 doilies together. I really liked them in the fall colors for 99 cents. This tablecloth was pretty. You could see there was like a cross-stitch one. They had around $5 on that, so I left that behind. Right now I'm looking for fabric that I can use to cover some small pieces, and I'm also looking for bigger pieces of fabric that I might be able to use for pillow covers or even curtains. Now I did not find anything like that today, but they at least had a lot for me to look through, which I really like. I think this chair was probably one time quite a gem. They had $24.99 on it, but it was absolutely shot. If I had more talent, I would try to recover it and bring it back to life, but it stayed behind. Couple interesting odds and ends in the glassware. You know, these plates with, the fruit and flowers on them really used to sell. They just don't anymore. I did find this little set. I thought that it was Rae Dunn. It was not. It was actually a knockoff, so that stayed behind. Otherwise, I would have gotten that for resale. Somebody donated their entire Boyd's Bear collection. I think these are cute. I have a couple of them hanging in my kitchen, the little spoon holders. They had $2.49 on these, and neither of them were places that I was super interested in, so they stayed behind. I thought this ceramic project mug holder was cute. Probably from the 70s, someone made it. I left that there. I was tempted, but I did leave that behind. And of course the Avon bottles, you see these absolutely everywhere. They really need to put less on them because there's a surplus of Avon bottles floating around the planet. Cute milk glass lamp, that was $3.99. I did think about that for quite a while, but I ultimately left that behind as well. The baskets were like popping today. There were so many of them, these like 1980s kind of baskets. I really don't need those for anything, but it was funny to see so many of them. And then, of course, a cassette organizer, which I thought was funny. And an ice cream maker. I've never used one of these before, but I've always been tempted to. So it was neat to see that there. And these all had pretty decent prices, $4 or $5 on them, which I didn't think was too bad. I loved seeing this book. I remember going to see this movie with my mom. As for the rest of the Christmas today, not a whole lot. Everything was plastic. I mean, all the ornaments were plastic and all the decorations were newer, just nothing along the lines of vintage. So unfortunately, the Christmas section today came up pretty dry. I did think this was pretty. I thought it was something my daughters would like. It was not priced, so I just went ahead and left that for this time around. I did grab this cutie. This was made by a company called JOL, and they made all kinds of vintage Halloween things. They had $2.99 on it, and it's from the 80s. And they're like the Christmas candles that you would put in your window, except they are pumpkins. So for $2.99 I snagged this. These are selling for about $15. I don't know if I will be selling or keeping. I haven't quite decided yet. But he came home with me. I also found this really pretty Art Deco frame. I love these old glass frames. Oh, not that one, not that one. There she is. Okay. I love these old frames. This one was $2.49. I like putting old photographs in these, so I'm going to take this with me. I thought this was really pretty. It was the Bradford Exchange, which a lot of that stuff you cannot give away these days. But it did catch my eye, and all of this pottery here, everything was really reasonable. I do think that might be a Fenton piece back there, that frosted blue. But I did debate on this a long time. I thought it was pretty, but I ultimately decided it really wouldn't match anything I have. So I left it behind. Somebody will be thrilled to find it. Pretty silver plate coffee or tea set. I have several, so I left this behind. And I did think this letter holder was kind of cool. It's a little industrial for me. $2.99 though, I thought that was fun. Or a napkin holder even. And there's an old film projector slide holder in the back there. I always look for silver plate to use for things, or even sterling. I find it occasionally. This is actually a really good piece right here. This is Bakelite, and Bakelite replaced plastic in the 1940s. It's usually red, but you can also find it in other colors. It is collectible, especially in jewelry and things like that. That piece was only 29 cents. They counted it as silverware, so I did buy that for resale because there is a market out there. I thought that was a cute little tin for buttons. It had buttons in it, but nothing spectacular, just plain ones. And it looked like somebody donated their race car collection. I don't know anything about these, so these stayed behind. And you guys are going to kill me for this one, but these had to stay behind too. For $2.49, you could get a glass mug that had this wise saying on it, which I didn't know. I didn't know until I saw it on a mug. I thought those were hilarious. I had to add them to this video. Otherwise, pickings were pretty slim. I'm still looking for holiday and Santa mugs. Vintage, of course. He was cute. He was a little elephant mug, and it has the little thing, I believe, for a tea bag on it. Thought he was sweet. And we have more of the false graph that I just know is going to come back one day, and a couple other what I consider granny dishes next to it. They did have all the sets of dishes organized real nice, and there's another false graph piece. They had $4.99 on that. It is the flour canister. I'm telling you, I'm going to kick myself for not getting this stuff because I just have a feeling it's coming. Its comeback is coming. They did have a couple cute canister sets, some older, some newer, but they did have them really reasonable. I thought this little old pottery set was cool too. I know I've seen it around before. But they had the small bowls along with the larger pot. Some really pretty brown transferware plates, and those were pretty reasonable too. I think they had $2.99 on each of the bowls, or for the set, and I think they had $4.99 on the set of plates. So that was actually a really good deal. Those would have been really good for resale. but just not something I wouldn't, want to mess with as far as shipping. So I did leave those behind. I thought this little retro pair of salt and pepper shakers was cute. And they just had some really pretty dishes. They really don't sell these days, but I still just absolutely love them. All right, so let's recap. I ended up taking the pumpkin candle, priced at $2.99 or $2.49. I can't remember which one, I'm sorry. And I do think I'll be reselling him. I might keep him, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be reselling him. I also got the cheese slicer, and that is made out of Bakelite. And they charged me, I think, 29 cents for that, and that will also be going into the resale pile. I got the Art Deco frame for $2.49, and I will most likely be keeping that. Plus, I also got a couple of the little doilies, so my grand total today was just around $6 and some change. I'm pretty happy with it. I think it was a great little trip. Hopefully you guys had fun coming along. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate every moment that you come and spend here, and I hope that I see you guys again very soon. In the meantime, happy thrifting. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.